Hey, I came up with a topic tonight.
Whoa!
Look, I got a notepad and everything. Should have
Holy,
an
All right.
idea driving home.
holy
That's
wowness!
if nobody else has come up with anything.
Holy
Of course, we got stuff to talk about.
wowness! We have some stuff to talk about then, and
Okay.
we've got a bunch of feedback stuff in the emails and the voicemails. Um,
Did you guys watch the Justice League yet?
Yeah.
I have
All
not.
fucking 8 hours of it or whatever.
I have not.
It's you got to commit. It's 4 hours.
Yeah.
Not a minute less.
We considered it Saturday night. By the time we sat down to do anything, I was like, I'm not making it 4 hours.
We
No.
started it like we got to like Act 2, whatever the end of Act 2.
So it's just the Justice League.
It's
the,
like
the
just-
same, but with all the
It's
shit
like
that
their
they cut out.
backstory. It's like their backstories.
Is there more?
Yes,
Okay.
it's better.
Is Superman's mouth still all fucked up?
I think it's just that one scene. I didn't really notice it. The rest of it.
I remember seeing that original Justice League in the movie. I'm like, dude, I can't believe they allowed they sat down and they're like, yeah, it looks good. Go ahead.
Good enough. Hey, we're only paying you.
I mean, this is
millions
Warner
of dollars.
Brothers, dude.
For what?
Because
Henry
got a mustache.
Cavill was filming that Mission Impossible movie.
Yeah.
They had to do some reshoots, and
Oh,
he,
yeah.
he had like a mustache, so they CGI'd his mouth. But dude, it looks so weird. It looks so
yeah.
off.
They did the same thing with Chris Evans at the end of the first Avengers, the shawarma scene.
Oh,
So by the end of but they'd already finished filming
he had
Avengers.
cycled off his steroids by then.
No, he was filming Snowpiercer, and he had that big old beard. So they brought him back just to film that scene. And there's this. He's sitting at. They put a
Oh,
prosthetic
yeah,
on,
yeah.
and he's sitting at the table like this to try to cover it. And he's the only one
They
not
should have
eating.
just left it like long beard. That would have been funny.
Rob, Scott, Joe, John, Surf the Dirt, and Perry are in already. All right, we'll get started here in just a second. I should probably pull up some of the other things.
Do I sound any better or worse than last week?
Better.
Or same?
One or two.
Left side,
One,
right side.
1, 2.
I think you sound fine.
Okay.
Modulation.
The green tube.
What's
I
that
told
one?
you to stop acting like a
What's that
idiot,
one?
moron.
That's Howard Stern's dad, dude.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah. There's that song he sings. The bear went over the mountain to see what he could see.
Man.
1, 2. He's like Jewish Dracula. His dad. I used to love it when he did impressions of his parents,
Yeah, because
and now he does it.
he-
Now
oh,
he
he
does
does
it like every week, and he burned it out.
Oh yeah. See, it was good when it came out just organically.
Yeah,
The best when he would talk about how his dad had like hot and cold cereals, and how it was just like, what the hell for breakfast, and he could never like. Yeah, that was the funny shit, but whatever.
Oatmeal, best breakfast.
Yeah, I didn't know what a hot cereal was. It's
Oatmeal.
Bro.
Cream
it
of
was-
wheat.
Yeah,
Have you ever had cream of wheat?
of course I did. I'm Mexican.
Oh, was it? Is that a Mexican thing? I thought it was a white thing. I thought it was a.
Yeah, milk and a shit ton of sugar.
I didn't know. I didn't know. The darker complected people south of us ate that. I thought that was a total white thing. Because my ex, who was Mexican, had never had it.
I don't know. It was something in my house. My mom used to make it. Yeah.
Okay, enough about hot cereal. So we're gonna wing it. You guys ready? 3, 2, 1.
No.
All right, 6:30 Monday night, and we got nothing going on. So since we have nothing else going on with our lives, we're sitting here talking to you guys on the live stream. The live stream is already going off pretty good.
They're going hard.
Going hard. Rob says we have an echo. I can check to see why we have an echo, but we should be good. Let me see. Audio defaults. Good.
Yeah, no guest again. Sorry, Rob.
All right,
He's like, forget it, I'm leaving.
You could act like I'm the guest this week.
Oh, we have our guest star.
we have guest
Matt.
Matt in studio, and
Good to be with you guys.
Oh,
I'm
Matt
not in
is here.
studio.
everything stopped. Did I lose you guys?
You got back now.
All right. Yeah. I how about now, guys? Is there an echo? Is this better?
Apparently, it's just me.
Oh.
That's why I was asking. I changed my setting a little when I plugged in my headphones.
Got that modulation going, huh?
No, we might have to restart this. But so nobody can hear anything but you now. It paused a sec. Great, another episode talking about Nissans and Rangers.
Can you guys hear us?
Can you
all right?
guys hear us? Okay, because it
better now? Sounds better. Okay.
No.
Matt,
Okay.
Matt, speak.
Speak. 1, 2.
Is Matt?
1, 2.
All good. So
Okay.
Matt's not
There's-
okay.
all right.
There's a green tube.
Okay, we're gonna start.
Proper
We're gonna start
modulation.
WNBC.
We're gonna
Yeah,
we're gonna start. 3, 2, 1. Okay, round 2. We've already started this once. We had a little bit of a technical problem, but we're gonna run with it. And it is 6:30 Monday night. Well, it's 6:38 Monday night at this point. We have a crap ton of people in the chat room going a little bit crazy. You guys are on it, and already the shots are being fired, and everybody can see that we don't have a guest, so we're getting asked if we're going to talk about Nissans and Rangers again.
Probably.
And
I don't
movies.
know. I don't know if shots being fired is appropriate with what's happening right now. I don't know if you watched the news today.
Was there more today?
Probably there's
No.
another shooting today.
Oh
Was
no,
there
I
really?
did not catch
Yeah.
any of that. Where?
Colorado,
Oh man.
Boulder.
Fuck.
So whatever.
Sorry.
Just well.
That was an
So,
organic.
that was-
F.
yeah.
All right.
just
No,
another one.
did
Don't
not
worry about it.
did not know that. Did not know that. So we'll try to keep it a little bit lighter than that. So surprisingly, when Matt logged in and he lifted up a notepad and said, "I have a topic," and my heart like pitter pattered, and I felt, look at that notepad. Let's start with you, Matt, since you came prepared with the topic. Let's start with you.
I think that's important to encourage my efforts so that in the future, maybe I'll try some more, right? Even though this is horrible, you still have to
Maybe.
be supportive.
He said maybe.
Okay. So my idea, this was sitting in traffic on the way home. I'm sorry?
Traffic sucks, dude.
Oh, yeah. It still does. It still does.
That's not that bad.
So we've gone in the 2+ years now. We've wheeled a fair amount of trails. We've camped a number of places. So I thought we would kind of create like a scoring system. I'll ask you guys a specific trail, what you think of the trail, how difficult you think it is, how fun it is.
Okay, where's
All
Matt?
that-
Yeah.
Who is this guy?
Where's
Matt?
my brother-in-law, and what have you done with him? This is some crazy, like, weird shit going on right now, Matt. There's like
I kidnapped that guy.
there's like actual thought going into this. Holy shit!
Right? This is going to be interesting because think about it. Maybe you haven't wheeled a number of trails and you listen to this show for whatever reason, and we're going to give you some insight. Like, hey, number one.
I wouldn't call
Number
it that.
the the OG trail, Cleghorn, Pilot Rock, right? On a scale of 1 to 5, what would you say, like, as far as fun, 1 to 5, and difficulty, 1 to 5? And what did you like about it? What did you like and what did you dislike
You want to go first?
specifically?
Yeah, I can go first.
Jose, you go first. You know what? I'm conducting this.
I'm the
survey.
captain.
I'm the captain now. Jose, please.
Thank you. As far as the fun factor goes, I'm gonna say it's a solid 4 because you can make it as fun or as difficult as you want. And as far as difficulty goes, it can be a 5 if you wanted to, because what makes that trail fun is that you have options. You don't have all the difficult stuff are offshoots that you don't have to do. And that way, if you
they're clearly like there's a sign basically, hey, here's an offshoot, right?
Yeah.
They'll even let you know with a vague or with some kind of grading,
yeah,
right, about that offshoot.
yeah,
So
and
true.
so if you have like more built up rigs in your group than others, like they can go ahead and tackle that hard stuff while the rest of the group just hits the bypass and meets them on the other side of the hill. So for fun factor, it's a 4, and you can make it as difficult as you want it to be.
So you would say it's a potential 5 in the difficulty.
Yeah, there's a couple of those offshoots and I haven't done it, start to finish, but there are some of those offshoots that are you can make diamonds there.
There's pucker factor.
There's a couple pucker factors.
What's the pucker factor there?
I don't know. Ask
New
Joe.
category.
We saved him.
Pucker
Yeah,
factor.
yeah. Joe K got winched off of a 4-foot hill. it was like a 5-foot 45-degree angle, and it just one of those oopses.
Just for you, Joe. There's bonus points. You get bonus points for that.
But I don't know what he was more scared of, the fact that he might roll over or the fact that we were saving him, that we were the ones responsible for it.
The funniest thing was that I had the Tacoma, and I think that was the first time I pulled the winch out on that Tacoma, and we were like, I think you pressed the button here. I don't know. Let's see what happens.
All right, Cody, what's your fun difficulty factor?
I would give it 5s on both. I would give it something you don't have in your scoring system that I'm kind of trying to factor in here is accessibility. It's
That's a big
super easy to get to.
If you would have
and
said that, I would have said 10.
Yeah, and we do it quite a bit. To your point, I have been up there and done just the service road.
Yep.
And I have been up there. Joe P and I took the girls up there one day, and we almost died. There's got to be like 20 episodes ago we talked about how we almost died.
But it was green. It was green.
The map said it was good. Last time I used that map application. So it can be, you can make that trail into anything you want, and it can be a 45-minute bomb run from one side of the hill to the other, or it can be an all-day event starting at Cleghorn, going into Pilot Rock, dumping out over at Silverwood Lake. I mean, it is great, and I think it's a good place to start for someone that's just getting into it, because there's a lot of those little offshoots that aren't the ones that the up and overs, right? Where like once you're in, you're committed.
Yeah.
There's a lot of those little like, oh look, I'm just going to try this little obstacle right here, and then I'm back on the road. And you keep yourself out of trouble.
Okay. These are high marks already, like right out the gate for Cleghorn. But I'll agree with you that accessibility is, that's a 5. Like it's a 5+ probably. We would all agree.
I would
literally
it's
right
right
off
there.
the freeway.
I would almost consider Cleghorn like our home field advantage, right? Like that's our home court right there.
Okay. That's pretty good. So another couple categories we could probably, because they're
Hold on,
yeah,
hold
at
on.
least 10,
Let me.
10 or 12.
Should I break out a spreadsheet? Should we start spreadsheeting this?
You know what? If had I thought of this at work today, I might have pulled out a spreadsheet, and then I have made you cry.
We would have canceled the show tonight because I would have been sobbing.
The pride in your eyes, if you'd seen the spreadsheet I could have put together next time. So just
Wait,
really
hold
quick,
on. I want to address. Why. So I know that we've got some stories to hear this week from this weekend, but I'd like to know why Adam's wife is asking Jose to eat ice cream. I don't think Jose needs much instigation for eating ice cream. But I feel like there's a backstory there, Leanne. This is going to be interesting.
We'll get to that later on.
Okay, so what's your?
Hey, you know what? Screw this list.
I want to hear about Leanne and ice cream. We need to know why Leanne wants ice cream.
What's up with that ice cream, bro?
No,
we'll move on to the ice cream later.
Yeah,
we'll
ice
get
cream
to it.
later.
We'll get to it.
Ice
I
cream,
promise.
ice cream with gummy bears on top. Because Perry G says
Oh,
non-topic shows like this should have a bag of gummy bears to be passed around. Yep, agreed.
Oddly enough, that parallels that topic.
I'm
as
sure
well.
that it did. I'm sure that it did. Okay, all right, Matt.
Oh, that's right. Jose, you went this week.
Yes,
I did.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we have to hear about that
I
next.
don't even want to deal with this shit. Who cares?
No, come on.
Hey,
No, come on.
hey.
You actually put effort in, Matt. I want to
Okay.
experience this with you.
All right. But I want to speed this up now. So I want to get to the ice cream.
List bad. It's over.
Hey, yeah. Hey, let's get to the numbers, guys.
Big Bear, good. Okay,
There's
what's
math
next?
to do.
What's next?
All right. So would you say that Pilot Rock and Cleghorn has camping potential?
Not really. I mean,
Right?
I don't think so. It's more of a commuter trail, I would say.
I'm trying to think. There is at the entrance of Pilot Rock, there is a place to camp, and you can get to Pilot Rock through Cleghorn. So there is a possibility for camping.
Oh, there are like yellow posts.
Yeah.
Probably like Silverwood too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
over in
Yeah,
that
Silverwood.
Silverwood area. So yeah, you could definitely camp there. We just never have because it's 20 minutes away.
But I don't think it's associated with that trail is associated with camping.
No, but
Yeah.
if someone was going to come up from San Diego,
Yeah.
like Rob was saying, or from LA, they could easily camp at Silverwood
Oh yeah.
and do the trail.
Would you, having said that, would you drive up from San Diego, camp at Silverwood, and wheel Cleghorn?
Oh, for sure. For sure. It's absolutely worth it.
That'd be a cool
All right.
weekend.
Yeah.
That'd be a
That'd
cool
be a good overnight trip. Drive up from San Diego or in from LA or whatever, even if it's a 2-hour drive, do Cleghorn all the way up and over, experience Pilot Rock, come back out at Silverwood, spend the night at Silverwood Lake, and then go home.
Now you got to keep in mind, there's no WalMarts around. The nearest Walmart might be down in San Bernardino or up the hill.
Victorville.
Hesperia.
Yeah, Hesperia.
Yeah. So I'm gonna put that down.
That's a negative points. That's a negative
That's my score.
distance from Walmart. That's a category.
I didn't have time to research, though I could have. That's a good idea. Next time I'm gonna put distance from Walmart in each of these locations.
I would say it's within 15 miles.
Walmart.
Walmart?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. South. There's got to be a Walmart like right there on the foothill.
Yeah, I was gonna say you don't need to
Foothill
go.
for
It doesn't
15
necessarily
miles.
need to be a Walmart. Hey, I'm gonna open up a map.
For me.
It doesn't necessarily need to be a
For me.
Walmart, but there's it all off of Foothill, off of the 210. I mean, shit, you can get to Matt's house in 15 minutes from there. Both
Cody,
your guys' house.
This is my grading scale, and Walmart's important
Okay.
to my spreadsheet here. So, okay, let's moving forward to stop number 2. We have Big Bear, but I separated Big Bear to both sides of the lake. So you have like that trail. I didn't have time to look at the numbers of the trails, but the one that starts off on Knickerbocker
Mhm.
and then goes up over the mountain, you end up like in is it Fawnskin?
Yeah.
No. Is it Fawnskin? Like on the
Sugarloaf?
330? So, we did that trail. How would you, let's go with Cody this time. How would you rate that trail as far as difficulty / fun?
So hold on. Knickerbocker doesn't go to Fawnskin. That Knickerbocker, that was the Clark Summit.
Yes.
That ends up down at not Arrow Bear. Angelus Oaks.
Yes.
Yes. That I thought was. I think that had a lot of good scenery. It was a pretty. There was a couple pretty sketch spots that were on like cliff edges. I felt like, and
That's the switchback side, right?
yeah, and
You worried about my boys jumping off to their deaths?
yeah, your boys were.
Boys.
I would say that's a good solid. We're going with 1 to 5.
So this is you're probably going to give me 2 scores, like one for difficulty and one for fun factor.
Okay, so I would say that it was a solid 4 in the fun factor perspective, and difficulty. I don't like from a wheeling perspective. I don't think it was difficult, but it was technical in that there was enough things that could go wrong to where you were on edge at some, you know what I mean, for a good portion of that. So I would say it's a 4. I'm looking at the map right now, the trail we took. It's I would say it was a solid 4 on both sides.
You thought it was a 4? Difficult.
Not difficult. I mean, like I said, trail wise, I don't remember it being difficult, but because it was on the edge of it was sketchy in spots where I could see people freaking out about it. And when I say I can see people freaking out about it, I had one in the passenger seat.
Understood, but when I think about the difficulty rating, it's whether you could do it. If you're putting it at a 4 and I'm in a stock truck,
Oh no,
I'm thinking twice about it.
No, I see what you're
Not
saying.
Fear
No,
factor.
no, because remember Susan did it in the stock expedition.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
And
She caught up to us.
yeah, she caught. I would say it's a 2 on the difficulty level.
There you go. I agree with that.
It just that with the caveat that if you're sketchy about heights, it's probably not a place you want to go by yourself.
Yeah, because it's not like shelf road. It's just it's like a dirt road, but just with this mean drop off.
Yeah, just a gnarly drop off on one side.
Okay, Jose, what do you think about
difficulty wise.
Clark's grade?
I say it's a 2.5, man. It wasn't that difficult. Just that one section, which wasn't even that difficult. It was just where you had to go around that boulder. It wasn't very difficult. It was just you got to go slow.
You got to go slow, and I remember using my sliders very much so on that turn.
Yeah, but you were like making sure you didn't get anywhere near the edge.
Yeah.
So
So
as far
I didn't say that fractions were allowed,
Okay.
but I will allow it. 2.5.
2.5.
Is it 2.5?
2.5.
Are we doing decimal or okay.
2.5.
Standard?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Good.
Difficulty.
America.
Difficulty
We
wise.
use fractions.
4. I'll give it a 4 on the fun factor because the views you get out of there is awesome.
Yeah. And
True.
it
Okay.
dumps you out in Angelus Oaks.
Yeah.
Right next to that Angelus Oaks Lodge when you can grab lunch right there.
And you can get a highly priced lunch that really doesn't taste that great.
No. It's
If we're being honest.
it wasn't a great sandwich, but it was just kind of a cool place to finish off, you know?
Hold on,
Sure.
I gotta take this phone call real quick.
Oh, okay.
I'll be right back.
Oh.
Something important is happening. But yeah, I would say Clark's grade is it's a lot of fun. It's a good one.
But that's certainly a stock vehicle. You're doing it.
Yeah. I think a stock, any stock Jeep,
Mhm.
let me say any stock Wrangler or Gladiator. I even think like a stock crossover vehicle would be able to do it unless it was in inclement weather. If it was with mud and snow and rain, I could see that being a little bit sketchy. But if it's a nice summer day, dry conditions, and you're on standard highway tires, you could probably do that trail pretty easily, and it would be a good challenge for someone in a stock vehicle.
Did it in the Renegade.
Oh, were you in the Renegade?
Yeah, that was Renegade.
Huh. Yeah, but
Yeah.
and like we said, Susan did it in the stock expedition.
Yes. Okay. Should we keep going?
Yeah, keep
Or
going.
wait for Jose? Okay. So the other half of this equation here. What camping? I really don't think camping is a factor for that, and I wouldn't.
Yeah,
I
there
wouldn't.
is. There is. There's camping down there in Angeles Oaks, and just a little bit further down the 38, you could camp. You wouldn't camp on the trail, but you could camp in the area. I guess is what I would say.
I don't think it's not a destination trail though.
No, I wouldn't consider it a destination. It would
Right? I mean,
if you were going to be in it's a good it's a good day trail. But if you're from out of town, if you're a couple hours away, because I think we did it in like 4 or 5 hours. Is that right? Does that sound right?
Yeah.
If you were coming in, 2-3 hours away, you did Clark's Grade and then spent the night down in Angeles Oaks or right off the 38. I think that'd be a good trip because there is camping down there off the 38.
Yeah,
and you could do it. You could do it the opposite direction too. I don't think there's anything stopping you doing it from the opposite direction, starting in Angeles Oaks, going up into Big Bear, and you end up in like off of Knickerbocker, which is near the village, and you could you could go all the way up into Big Bear and then get a VRBO or Airbnb up in Big Bear and spend the night.
Is VRBO, is that a kind of vodka?
No, it's
you get a bottle of VRBO.
A Verbo. No,
tailgate somewhere and just have a good time.
Vacation rental by owner. It's an Airbnb. It's same type of thing. Verbo, but I've had more success with Verbo than
you could do the vodka thing still with the VRBO.
Absolutely, you could get a Verbo and some Verbo vodka and do whatever.
Nice,
but yeah, Clark's Grade is okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you okay, Jose?
Yeah, everything's good now. We're good.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so I think we're going to move forward to the other side of Big Bear, Holcomb Valley. There's all kinds of cool trails. We've wheeled a bunch in there, and I think we've only explored a fraction. It seems like there's probably plenty of other trails back there. But what, Jose, your turn again. Difficulty factor, just it can, as far as knowing that there's like the Gold Mountain and White Mountain and those trails, how would you rate that difficulty? And fun.
And if I could add to that, Holcomb Valley, that whole area, that's where our adventure, our journey with Jose began. That is where all of this started.
I'll be honest.
And you can use that
against
in your judgment.
It's a -5.
Big fat 0, dude. No, as far as fun goes, dude, I give that a 5. That whole area is great, dude, because there's so many trails. I mean, you can make it as fun as you like. You could camp there. You can spend 2 or 3 days there.
Yeah.
Easy. It's beautiful up there.
Yeah.
That whole valley.
And sorry to step on your rating.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at our maps right now, and I'm bringing up all of the different trips that we've done up there, including that LGECTS run and Crab Flats to Dishpan Springs and the run we did where we met you. And I mean, it's you can do whatever.
Yeah, the scenery's great up there. Like, you have that huge meadow. Like, you know what I'm talking about, that big meadow where there's like a cabin right there.
Yep.
That's great. I don't have that much, like, just whatever we've ran, that's all I've ever done up there. But there are John Bull's up there, like one of the hardest trails in SoCal. So it's a 5 on the difficulty factor if you want it to be. And we haven't really got into the rock crawly stuff. It's always been kind of like not like fire roads, but
just trails.
But trails, but nothing extreme.
We did with All J Products, Casey's shop, and the Jeep Fest. We did a run up there and went through the squeeze, and there were some pretty gnarly rock sections there that were pretty hard. And we've got a listener in the chat room. Are electric vehicles allowed
why
on
not?
your runs? Asking for a friend. As long as they can keep up. But most of the people I know that drive electric vehicles can't keep up. I mean, that's just Casey, it was a spooky run. And that listener is Nick, by the way, Jose. We did this.
Oh yeah, I didn't even realize.
We did the.
Hello, sir.
We did this spooky run with the Jeep Fest, and that was a lot of fun. And it was at night, and that would take the difficulty level up to like a 5 because of the route we took, and it's at night, and you're trying to go over through boulders. And the squeeze, if you guys haven't been there, it's a section where it's just like a half-inch wider than a standard Jeep Wrangler, and you're trying to crawl over a rock on one side and keep the top of your vehicle from hitting the rock on the other side.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun. But to your point, Jose, you can do anything up there.
Yeah, like I said, I haven't hit any of those hardcore trails. There's like John Bull, and there's like
Gold Mountain.
There's Gold Mountain that I haven't done. I think they call it Little John or Little John Bull.
Yeah.
There's like there's a few hardcore trails that I have not done that I want to.
Even Dishpan Springs.
Yeah.
What's funny is I did Dishpan Springs years ago in my XJ, in my WJ.
Well, that's why I
and
asked
we
you.
haven't done it. I haven't done it in the truck.
That's why I asked you. I'm like, dude, you should be like more hardcore because in that what model's Jeep is that black one you
The
had?
WJ.
Yeah, you were doing some pretty crazy stuff, dude.
Well, but okay, that was a $4,000 vehicle. I spent,
Well,
okay,
I'm
so,
not saying John Bull Jr. Thank you.
but prior to the Tacoma, all of my off-road vehicles were fully paid off, like $4,000, $10,000 vehicles that were paid off, and not my daily driver.
This
And
coming from the guy giving me shit for not wanting to wheel a brand new Gladiator.
That's because you're a pansy.
Hey, speaking of people who are wheeling fully paid off vehicles,
Oh, congratulations. Oh, man. We can wreck that shit right now. Where that shit is getting demoed.
Let's send it, dude.
let's see what you can really do.
Let's see what you can do.
Dude, imagine. So just remember how he wheeled it when he was paying it for it. Now that it's paid off, what he's going to do with that thing?
Oh, it's going to be dumb sauce. Dumb sauce.
What oil change?
Yeah.
So, back to the Holcomb Valley. I think also a really key thing about that is anytime you go up into Big Bear, summertime, that's like the ideal time to go up and do some summer wheeling because the weather's better up there, and you don't want to necessarily go out to the desert or when it's super hot, to do some wheeling. So I like that about Big Bear having that. As a big factor for summertime wheeling.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah. And then clearly the camping aspect, I think every time you go up there, every time we've gone up there, I've found some pretty amazing looking campsites,
Well, and even beyond that, Matt, it's camping, it's vacation homes, it's rentals or whatever. Like you could go up to Big Bear, spend an entire week, and I don't think it gets the same kind of prestige or like coverage or like whatever like that Moab does or Glamis does or Ocotillo Wells does, but it's
or like Lake Tahoe.
Yeah, but it's every bit as beautiful up there and versatile in the terrain that you cover, and you can make it a full week of wheeling and go into the village for dinner every night and rent a boat and go out on the lake. I mean, you
can do something different every day.
Yes.
If you're there for Monday through Friday,
yes,
you can mountain bike, you can go on the lake, you can wheel, you can camp, you can hike. You can fish, whatever you want.
It's Prestige I think worldwide. Prestige worldwide. I think it's one of the premier Southern California off-roading spots, and I don't think it gets as much coverage. But we've never been up there and not seen 4 groups of people wheeling. I mean, every time you go up there, and Mom and Dad live up there still, and every time we go up there, even if we're not wheeling, there's rows and rows of off-road vehicles tooling around town.
I mean, up until a couple years ago, until I really started getting into wheeling, like it would be rare for me to ever go up there. But tell me am I right in saying that Big Bear has become like way more popular in the past few years than it was before, or has it always been?
No, it's always been.
Has it
It's
always been?
always been popular. I think what has changed is the overland scene, and
Yeah.
that's a so when we used to wheel when I was younger, it was CJ7's tops off in the
Yep.
summer, dishpan springs, pop a tent and a cooler for camping overnight. But Big Bear is big enough and vast enough to where people with the overland setup, they may not be able to drive 6 hours away to test it. They can go up to Big Bear and go from site to site to site and hit
Yeah.
multiple places in Big Bear and still get that overland feel. And then should something go wrong, you're 30 minutes from town.
True.
You know what I mean? So I think that's what's increased is the amount of people that are like testing their rigs and doing overnight trips up there.
Yeah.
It's the best of all worlds. I mean, you could really test your rig as much as you want, and you have a rescue, all J's right there in town.
Yeah.
Your vehicle is within repair within a day. Like you can be back on the trail. If you have enough money, I guess.
Yeah.
Money talks.
So
So
that's right. That's so I expect like the Big Bear Chamber of Commerce to kick us down because damn, we just washed Big Bear's balls big time this past 5 minutes. Like damn, dude, I feel like moving up to Big Bear, but I happen to know some people that are moving out of Big Bear, so maybe I'm home. Okay, that's great. Next step. Obviously, clearly there was some camping available Holcomb Valley or anywhere up there.
Yep.
Next up, Johnson Valley. So we've done a lot of wheeling in Johnson Valley. As far as Jose, in fun factor and difficulty factor, how do you rate Johnson Valley?
again, this is 5 out of 5 on both ends.
On both sides.
It's fun because it's wide open, man. If you have a rig that can do a little bit of pre-running, like, dude, there's nowhere better than to do that.
Well, that's why the biggest off-road race
Exactly.
in the world takes place in Johnson Valley because that's what it is.
Yeah, and then if you want to get super hardcore, it's right there too. You just go to one of those little mountains around, and then just Chocolate Thunder or Backdoor or any of those waterfalls, Jackhammer. Like, dude, there's your rig will be tested there. That's why they do King of the Hammers.
Hey,
there.
Perry, who's JV? No one's getting that? No one? Okay, never mind.
Nope.
Johnson Valley.
I know it, Johnson, but he says JV is as hard as you want it to be. Who's JV?
What's his name?
I didn't know Jose had a nickname. The
It should be runs over totes after this last week.
oh no. The one thing on the other end of the spectrum though, Jose, is like if you've got a mild wheeler,
Yeah.
and you just want to go kind of cruise around in the dirt and there's plenty of things for you to do. That think about after the cleanup we did, and we were following the guy from Milestar.
I didn't go.
Jose can only think about it.
So Matt, I'm going to talk to you for a minute. So when we were following the guy from Milestar, and we ended up in that, we did those dunes. That was fun, but we ended up in that really rolling like valley area. That didn't take a lot of ground clearance. It didn't take a lot of horsepower or big tires. It would have been a lot of fun in just a stock off-road vehicle. And then to your point, then you turn around, you go up to the Hammers, and you're bashing your car.
Yeah.
So
I was going to say, when we took off out of the cleanup area, the dry lake bed, and there was that rolling hill climb. We got to the top of that ridge line and then rode that ridge line.
Mm-hmm.
It was oh wow, it just popped up. There was this little trailhead, and I turned down it, and then it turned into being like a really fun, tight, technical, a lot of little hill climbs and tight turns. I think that's a lot of fun. It's not necessarily difficult, but it's exciting because you don't know what's what's around the corner. And especially leading, you're like, man, I got like 10 people behind me.
Yeah.
I hope I don't get stuck. This is going to be embarrassing. but the scenery was great there. That was a lot of fun. That trail was a lot of fun. Johnson Valley is. I agree with you guys. I think it's the pinnacle. It's equal to Big Bear, as far as capabilities. Maybe even more so. It's so vast.
Yeah, I would say, I would say the only thing that Johnson Valley doesn't have is the altitude. Like Big Bear, you're up in the mountains, you got the trees, and you've got some of that, scenery from an altitude perspective.
Yeah.
Johnson Valley's down in the valley. Obviously, it's a whole different type of scenery, beautiful desert scenery, beautiful sunsets, all kinds of camping. And I feel like we've barely scratched 10%
not even 10%,
of the area out there.
We haven't even gone to the Integratron yet.
I know.
I mean, what's wrong? What the hell is wrong with us? We should be camping around the Integratron at night, calling for aliens with our lasers,
That's on you, bro. Plan it.
All right. You better go. I don't want to hear that you're afraid that the ETs are coming, because they're coming. I put the word out.
I made a call.
Okay. I made a few phone calls. Obviously camping is a 5 out there too. Okay, so just because I still have a bunch more, and I don't know, maybe we could save some of these because we've how much time we've done
we're about a half hour in.
You want to continue?
Let's do one more.
One more. You want a good one or just sequentially?
Just sequentially, because if we do it in the wrong order, you won't remember where you left off.
You might get lost.
It's on paper, Holmes. Okay, so this next one, Pioneer Town. We did the route from Pioneer Town back up to Big Bear.
Mm-hmm.
We did it I think it was early summer-ish or whatever, and then we did it later that winter in the snow, which was completely different.
Yeah.
It was 180-degree different.
We've
So,
done it a couple
Cody,
times.
what did you think about? Speak about that both scenarios. How much the difficulty factor in both scenarios, because I think it's different depending on the time of year.
Yeah.
And the fun factor.
Pioneer Town during
And you want me to tell you some jokes?
No,
you're not yawning?
No, I'm sorry. It's been a long day. During the decent weather, difficulty of Pioneer Town is minimal. I mean, for the most part, there's offshoots. There's some offshoots and stuff, but during the summer months, it's a 2. Yeah, difficulty wise. And that includes like the Rose Mine area. Remember, there's like
that red dirt area.
Yeah, well, so that's over kind of by Rose Mine. We've done that area before too. I mean, and there's some obstacles. There's always some obstacles to play on, but overall, I would say it's an easy, mellow trail during the summer.
Pioneer Town to Sugarloaf. If you were to go buy a Frontier or any 4x4.
Yes.
Any stock 4x4, you could take it from the dealership,
A Renegade,
and do it.
a
Even
RAV4.
that final zigzag switchback trail. That
No,
you took us on?
not Jose's shortcut, not Jose's shortcut route.
I was looking at the trail on my phone. I'm like, how come we're not going right? And we just ended up turning left.
I'm surprised.
I looked up. Next Jose's already 50 feet above me.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
I'm surprised Tammy lets him in the house still after that. She was so pissed.
That was the hardest part of the trail.
It was a super mellow trail all day. Jose decides to take the last 200 yards of the trail and make all of us shit our pants.
That's 200 yards with
It's like a quarter mile.
Yeah, we climbed 1,500 feet.
Yeah. But so during the winter in snow, damn, that's a 5. I mean, we
didn't even make it.
We didn't even make it. Yeah, a trail that could have been done in an hour and a half, 2 hours during the summer, we couldn't even finish it in the winter. And part of that's, I think, the ass backward route we took because we were.
I didn't even get to that part.
Yeah,
dude. I was so far behind.
But everybody was everywhere. Like cars, vehicles sliding everywhere.
I spun out once.
Yes, Remember the Toyota that almost hit my truck?
Oh my god.
Like 3/4 of an inch from needing a new truck and having it pushed off the side of the hill. But it was fun. It was fun in the snow.
It was fun.
But it is definitely a completely different trail in the snow than it is during the summer. Yeah. And I would say that with a lot of Big Bear too, because Big Bear, there's a lot of fun trails up there that I wouldn't even try to attempt in the snow.
Yeah, like that LGE
CTS run. Yeah,
I don't think we'd be able to finish it. If it was like dumping snow,
no,
we wouldn't be able to do it.
Well, even if there was 2 feet of snow on the ground, it'd be hard. Some of those hill climbs would be hard. But it was definitely fun. I'd say it was equally fun, and the fun factor during the summer, it's a 3 or 4. It's a mellow family trail where you go tool around.
If you go 3.5, I will allow it.
Okay, perfect. 3.5.
I'll give it the 3.5 because Paul McCartney supposedly played at
he did
at that bar
at that bar at Pappy and Harriet's, which I've still never been to, by the way.
We parked in front of it.
And John, yes, you could take a Patriot with 4-wheel drive up there.
I think that the winter time on that trail really showcased tire, the quality of your tires, because I think I had just put the Nexons on the stock 31s or whatever, and there was a section where we were on the radio, hey, there's this little dip, you got to gas all the way through, do not, because you'd have drifted off the trail. And
that's where Joe almost died, right?
And Mike, remember
Mike.
And I remember seeing that spot, and I just held a steady throttle, and there was a little, my ass end slid out a little bit, but the tires grabbed, and I climbed up that hill. And then Mike was right behind me in his all-terrain tires, and that dude was gassing it like, I don't know the RPM, and the whole just slowly crawled up. But it was a lot hairier for him, and I just remember thinking, man, thank God for these tires.
We haven't seen him since.
Yeah, I know, Mike. I don't know if you still listen. We're sorry for that day because we haven't. He was at every event. He was constantly part of the show, and him and his brother have disappeared since that trip. I bet his wife won't let him hang out with us anymore because of that. And
last time we saw him.
Yeah, and that's also the Vampire Slayer stake into Buffy jumped out and stabbed my tire. I still have the stick over there. But yeah, that was a fun trip. But yeah, I think it's a mellow day of wheeling, having some fun.
Yeah, it can be for sure.
Yeah, the only downside is you got to go all the way out to Yucca Valley to start it.
Yeah, you got to drive an hour and a half.
Yeah, just an hour and a half drive to the start, if not more. And then when you get to the end of the trail in Big Bear, it's an hour and a half back. Yeah.
That's a long day.
Yeah.
Okay, that's like half the list. I actually came up with a few more, but we can save those for later. I mean, maybe we can refine the
scoring system.
Scoring system.
Yeah, I mean, we can break into like quarters or eighths on the grade scale.
I feel like there's more. I feel like there's more than just fun and difficulty. I think we have to add the accessibility, fun, difficulty, camping. There needs to be like a scoring system. I think we need a spreadsheet. I really do. If we're gonna do this correctly, I think we need a spreadsheet, and then it'll get posted on the website.
Yes, we could dispatch it. As like a tome, that people that can go, I wonder where we should wheel today. Let's go to the Trail Chaser tome and let's read the grades, and we'll use it.
What the F is a tome?
It's like the old the Last Jedi book from the movies in that tree.
It's the Jedi.
We're gonna carve them in stone tablets.
I have travel. We can do it.
All right, so we will transition, and we have a couple people in the chat room that were participants in this weekend's festivities, and
Shenanigans.
and so I did not go. I am a lazy slacker. I am bummed that I didn't go, but it sounds like you guys had a good time. So tell me, Jose, give us the recap. You were at work Friday, and your plan was to take off early Saturday morning.
Yep. So just packed up the truck, got it ready for the trails for Saturday. Thanks again to Dave, Trail Adventures TV on YouTube right now.
Yeah, Dave put the whole thing together. Yep, and I was on the chat on the text string, so I have an idea of some of the stuff that happened.
I'm not even on that thing. I'm not even. Yeah, like you told me some news that happened after that I didn't even know about.
We'll talk about that.
But yeah. So I left my house super early because most of the group had been camping there Friday night. They camped Friday night.
Yeah.
So I left my house like 5:30 in the morning.
Okay.
Because it's a 3-hour drive from my house to Anza. Yeah, man, it was a cool drive.
But nobody was up at 8:30 when you got there. 9:00 when you. I mean, like.
No, actually, Tim and Monica and Dave and Crystal were like halfway through breakfast already.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think Adam was still hibernating. And there was another couple there. Dude, I'm horrible with names. But they met up with Dave. If you've seen Dave's last video he posted from Gold Mountain, the one there was a couple that they met with the Gladiator.
Okay.
They were there, and they had a whole adventure trailer set up, dude. So that became like base camp because we were camped off of Fish Creek.
Okay.
So it's just like a long riverbed.
Yeah.
When I got there, dude, like I got there around 8:00, and it took me like 20 minutes to get from the road to them. But I aired down, dude, and then I just throttled down. I was going like 50 miles an hour.
He throttled down, Matt. So he was doing 17, 18 miles an
hour.
hour.
No, but dude, I was bombing through there because normally, we're in a group, so we can't really. And there was early, there was no cars around, and dude, it was so much fun just bombing through that creek bed. But so yeah, I got there. They were finishing up breakfast. Joey D, we were waiting on Joey D. He was a little late, but we didn't hit the trail till around 10:30, 11. And then from base camp, we kept going down Fish Creek, and then we ended up going to Diablo's drop off first.
Yeah.
And that was cool. We stayed a big chunk of time there, maybe a couple hours.
Mm-hmm.
Because we had like 5 or 6. No, we had more than that. We had like 7 cars. It was like a gladiator party, first of all. It was like 4 or 5
really?
gladiators.
It's been a long time since I've been to a good gladiator party, man. Woo! Nobody parties like a gladiator.
No, you got to make sure you have your toga.
What do you wear at a gladiator
your toga,
party?
Dude. Yeah. Or your body armor. The leather skirt. The leather skirt.
Is there oil involved?
Yes.
It's up to you. It's your party, dude.
Okay, so you went to Diablo's drop off, and I saw a little bit of quick footage. I saw that Leanne was driving a little bit.
She did, yeah.
She got a chance to do that.
Yeah, Crystal, everyone did great, dude.
Okay.
Well, it's cool though.
The devil's drop off or whatever.
Yeah.
We did that, right?
Yeah.
Last time, or a couple years ago.
That was a winter expedition 2019.
Yeah.
I call it the Devil's Taint or something.
Yeah, it's Devil's Butthole or something.
Where's the Devil's Taint?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the one.
You guys are hanging out there. I remember.
Dude, there was a lot of people there was a lot of people out in that area this weekend, dude.
I could see it.
A lot.
Because the weather wasn't that bad. I was worried about being so cold, and it ended up, at least the weather said it wasn't going to be very cold.
It was like 80-something degrees in the day.
Wow.
But then it got cold at night. It got like probably into the low 40s.
Ooh.
But so there was a lot of people at that Diablo's whatever you want to call it.
Diablo's private
by the
parts.
time we got everyone up, we stood around and started watching other people go up, different groups.
Did you guys stand at the top with like spears and like challenge them like you were going to shank them if they,
Oh, yeah.
like, stay off of our ledge.
Yep, there was
I
there was
hope.
crowds like right there, just watching you
Okay,
if you made a
good.
mistake or anything. But yeah, it was an eclectic group of vehicles that attempted that obstacle. It was cool. But we headed down Sandstone Canyon, which I have never done before. It's this trail which leads into just like it's like a narrow trail between sandstone walls. It's like a mini Grand Canyon. It's awesome.
Didn't we do that?
We've never done it
for the
dude.
winter expedition
No.
that year. No,
Mm-mm. We never did it.
you sure?
I'm sure.
Sure.
What you
Yeah.
described, I remember driving down.
Yeah, that's
No,
what
no,
I'm
but-
asking.
Well, we ended up. So you're talking about the end of Fish Creek Trail, which is like it has that end point where you have to turn around, right? Where you go through like the squeeze.
Yeah,
There's a off Diablo's drop off. If you keep going, it heads on to the other side of the desert, and it's like an even deeper crevice, like higher walls and stuff.
really.
Deep
That's
crevices.
Deeper one?
Yeah,
That's
I
where the
mean,
gladiators
how,
really.
yeah.
That's where the gladiators
How?
really
Gladiators
shine.
and deep
I
crevices.
mean, at
dude.
some
Deep
point,
crevice.
if you get deep enough, it's just it's no point. Like what? I mean,
For
you're not,
you.
Don't hey, you don't want to get lost in a gladiator's crevice, dude.
You're absolutely
No.
right. For me, there's a limit. There's a
Yeah,
limit.
it's a low limit,
It's a
dude.
very low bar. That's absolutely for sure.
But it was amazing, dude. Like it's just that area, like like in Fawns Point, you think most people think the desert's flat, but then you get to Fawns Point and you see like just all those like
Yeah,
it's crazy,
yeah.
dude. It's just more of that.
Yeah,
Now-
that whole Fonts Point is like, to your point, it's like one of those things you're like, I feel like I'm on the moon, and this is just
Yeah.
right here in the desert.
And I
We're
got
driving around.
rear-ended there,
That's right, you did.
and my car got hit.
That's right, you did.
Unfortunately, there were no gladiators.
Yeah.
No gladiators there.
He'd be far less upset about it if someone was wearing a toga.
Exactly. Exactly. He would be complaining
Yes.
if he was rear-ended by a gladiator,
But yeah, that
all armored up.
again, these are not difficult trails, dude. But these are just like scenery wise, you can't beat it, dude. It's like the weather was perfect. It's like windows down, just cruising, enjoying the scenery. And then when you come out of that Sandstone Canyon place, it just leads into like just an open desert, like washboard. And that's when Dave was taking some like B-roll in his Gladiator, and he's like, "Hey, jump in." And so I jumped in his Gladiator, and dude, his truck is set up like I don't know what else you could do to a Gladiator. Like he's on
You could-
38s.
You could put a new back end in it.
He's on 38s. I don't know what he's geared at. I'm gonna say he's at 513 or 488. I don't think he was at 488. I think he was 513. 513 gears, 38-inch tall tires. Man, that car and the suspension, dude. I think he's on Terraflex suspension with Fox 3.0 shock, so it's even bigger than the ones we got.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Man,
not
that-
about size.
it's
not about size.
they're girthier.
Yeah,
But you gotta you gotta have wiggle room.
what? Never mind.
Oh, you just caught yourself.
I did. I caught myself. That would have to make this an explicit episode, but
Woo.
So dude, he got after it on those washboards, and that truck, man, was like a Cadillac over those things. Like that thing is dialed in so good, and man, it made me want a Gladiator even more now.
so after that experience, you were
Yeah,
like,
like,
it
yeah, I
solidified
mean-
your decision.
A lot of people say like it's underpowered or the truck is mediocre. Dude, it felt quick to me. I mean, I don't know. Like I'm coming from
Yeah, for
coming from a
you.
tank.
Yeah, for you. Wait,
513s. He's on 513.
513s. Yeah. I mean, from what you're driving now to any Gladiator, it's going to be you're going to be happy. So it may be underpowered in comparison to.
Compared to what though, right? Like
the Ranger or the and I'm not being. I mean,
no, you could tell your truck's a little bit more nimble.
yeah,
like,
but
it's quicker.
But it's also, my truck is also going to be less aggressive on some of the bigger stuff, right?
True.
So there's a balance there.
But for being a solid front axle truck, that thing was doing. Dude, we were going like 80 something miles an hour on washboard,
That's awesome.
and there was no. He had all this shit in the back, like, and there was no rattles. I was just like, dude, this thing is so. It just felt planted. It was amazing.
You should ask him how much it cost him to get it to that point.
Well,
because
I don't want
because
to
you're
ask.
gonna
Now
buy,
I'm
you're
like,
gonna
oh.
buy the Gladiator.
I'm like, look,
the-
I got a Gladiator. I'm gonna do the same. I'm like, no, you're not.
Yeah, no, you're not. No, you're not. I can tell he's, obviously he's invested quite a bit in that thing to make it.
And
to
it
that
shows.
point. Yeah.
It shows, dude. I mean, the truck is super capable, man. Like in the desert, it crawls well. I mean, all the other two gladiator or two or three, the two gladiators were Adams, which he's on. He's done some modification, but it's basically just like Jeep parts, like other Jeep parts, making it just. And he's on 35s. It did great, and so did that other couples. It was the same exact like build pretty much as Adams. It was just black, and same thing. Did great, dude. Those trucks do great.
Can we get to the ice cream now? Where's the ice cream?
Well, I'm sure that's later in the conversation. So
okay.
Yeah.
Don't forget about the ice cream.
we got to get chronologically here because I feel like there's going to be something leading up to it.
Yeah. So after that, we headed back. We went back. Ended up going back the way we came, and ended up back at Devil's Drop Off.
Hold on, real quick. How many U-turns?
Just the one where we were doing those fast runs. Yeah. There was one. There was one U-turn.
Ha!
But
You
so
still
yeah.
you still got the blame for it.
I called it out for sure. So but yeah, we ended up going back, and then we ended up doing the rest of Fish Creek Trail, which ends up at that like that gatekeeper where you have to turn around through the squeeze, and then you can't just stop and you have to come back. So they've closed that section, like where you could kind of park right next to the gatekeeper.
Yeah.
They've closed that section off now. You can't even go up.
Oh.
You have to stop a little bit before now. And you can still like hike around there, but you can't drive up there anymore. But yeah, once we got there, we went back to camp because it was starting to get kind of late during the day. And then yeah, that's when the interesting stuff and interesting conversations around the campfire started.
Dave says, tell him about the wall
So,
climb.
On the way back, on the way out of that that crevice, like the end of the trail.
You never get out of the crevice.
Yeah, you never get out of the
Once
crevice.
you're in the crevice.
There's like a sandstone ledge that's like, I don't know, like 35 degree, and Dave's like, F it, I'm gonna climb it. So he climbed it, dude. I try to take pictures to show what the like how steep it was, but the camera doesn't do
They
it
never
justice,
do it
dude.
justice, yeah.
And I tried like multiple angles, but no, it was almost like it was almost 45 degrees angle.
Wow.
His Jeep climbed up, Joey climbed up, and one of Joey's friends climbed up. All three Jeeps. It was a cool picture.
Yeah.
I think you can see it on Dave's Instagram.
I think I did. I think I saw it over the weekend.
Yeah, so yeah, man, those things climb, bro. I mean, they're good. I mean, it's a good all-arounder. It just even more like yeah, it just showed me.
Well, yeah, they climb when you've got that much invested in tires and gearing. And
yeah, I mean, I think what helped it there was the tires and the gearing.
Yeah,
because you don't really need shocks to climb, but yeah, it's set up.
They
good,
help
for sure, but yeah, but going back to base camp, everyone just started just hanging out. And before I went, I wanted to buy a good bottle of whiskey, so I reached out to the Wheeling Wine and Whiskey guys. I reached out to Jason, and I'm like, "Hey, dude, you know who we're talking about going balls deep in Old Elk?"
That was funny. Hold on. That about it was 2 weeks ago. Jose sends me a text message, and he's all Wheeling Wine and Whiskey episode whatever at 1 hour and 15 minutes or whatever, and they're talking about drinking whiskey and doing stuff out at King of Hammers.
This came out of because when we interviewed
Kevin, yeah, and
recapping,
Matt says, "Well, those guys are balls deep in a thing of Old Elk or whatever," and so they were talking about the show. They're like, "We must be doing it wrong. I don't know what's wrong with it."
Well, no, because Kevin said he tried reaching Jason on the radio.
Oh, that's what it was.
And I'm like, yeah, dude, he's probably he's too balls deep in Old Elk. He ain't gonna hear the radio, dude.
Yeah, that's what you said. It. That's right.
But yeah, Jason recommended just get the regular bottle of Old Elk and you'll be good. So I bought a bottle of Old Elk since they rave about it. I don't know.
And
Dude, to be honest, it tastes like shit. But all whiskey tastes like shit to me. I couldn't. My palate's not sophisticated enough to discern from a $30 bottle of whiskey from a $60 bottle of whiskey. So I'm sorry, Jason. I don't get it. I'm trying to grow my whiskey palate, but it tastes like shit.
It's Fireball for me. Fireball and
it tastes like
Orange
shit.
Crush.
It tastes like shit. Well, it didn't taste like shit. It just has a really strong bite. Man, I'm just a pussy. I don't know.
I'm down with some Fireball. I like Fireball. It's like a cinnamon candy.
I mean, this is coming from a guy that drinks White Claw and Truly, so I'm not a credible source for whiskey.
No.
Please, Jose, don't ever mix your White Claw and Truly. I don't want to see what happens. That could be dangerous.
Don't cross the streams, bro.
But
Don't cross those streams.
I will give Old Elk credit because, man, the stuff we were talking about that came out of that bottle.
All right. I mean,
Nice.
and I wish you were at Winter Expedition to have something as a barometer, something to compare it to. So
I wouldn't say it's that extreme.
Okay. Who is the biggest perpetrator of the conversations at the
Joey.
Actually,
Can I
no.
say it was Joey?
It wasn't him. It wasn't him.
No, Joey usually plays it mellow. He's usually
he'll
super
contribute,
mellow.
like zingers
Yes.
in there.
Yeah. He'll step them up.
Oh, I know, but he'll just sit in the background and like lurk, and then come in, boom, and hit you with something, as opposed to being like the driver of the conversation.
But yeah, this was on me because I brought up like ASMR.
Jesus.
No, God.
Why would you bring that up?
Well, because I think we're talking about making like how to make money on the internet. Yeah, I've tried Basil Hayden too.
So a bunch of people that don't know anything about that talking about it.
Exactly. I started
God.
bringing up how people make money on the internet.
Who was involved in this conversation?
It was just mainly it was me, Adam, and Leanne, and there was people like outside that were listening.
Okay.
But at first, Leanne, I'm gonna throw her under the bus on this episode.
Do it.
She was just amazed, like this is like something that's real. Like this is part of the world. Like like ASMR videos on Twitch and how girls like are scantily clothed on Twitch and just like read or eat something into like dual microphones and just super amplified audio. But as the night went on and she started getting into the whiskey a little bit, she started inquiring like, so how would one
Hypothetically speaking. Tell me again about this OnlyFans page.
Yeah, OnlyFans and like, so what would one search on Amazon if you wanted to buy like microphones and stuff?
I can totally see it. So backstory here is Tammy and I had the chance to hang out with Adam and his wife Leanne last weekend at a winery, and it was great. We had so much fun. It was a great conversation. Got along great, and I'm picturing how those conversations went, and then now add that much more alcohol and camping.
Yeah, but what's funny is that Adam was just like, dude, I'm gonna get my new suspension sooner than later. Because those chicks, dude, they make a lot of money, man. Like thousands of dollars a month from just speaking to dual microphones, man. And
I don't
eating sensually, and then there was ice cream and like s'mores, and then that kept like maybe I should have two microphones eating this, and yeah, it was the ASMR thing kept coming up that she was perpetrating it, and
It sounds like she went to the right person.
Yeah, I was
for
just
advice on how to start her business.
That's where I was going.
Good for you.
Like,
good for you, Jose.
I don't know. That makes me a creeper or
yeah. Did it occur to anybody that you had way more information about ASMR than a normal person should have?
But yeah, dude,
That really depends on how successful she is now. That depending on Jose's advice.
Well, just keep a lookout on Adam's Instagram.
We have a whole studio here that we could start renting out, like, you know, a small percentage of the recording studio. No, blinds closed, door closed. You just rent the studio by the hour. Come in here, do what you got to do, and then just drop a check on the way out the door.
But yeah, just keep
a
a lookout
on the door.
Adam's Instagram.
Gladiator's crevice.
Yeah, just look on Groot Off Road, and if he starts getting lift kit and rooftop tent out of nowhere, you know where the money's coming from.
Yeah, Adam's rolling all of a sudden.
No, but it was fun, dude. You know, there's way more talk, but you have to be there if you want to.
Yeah, for sure.
Some of that stuff you got to be there for that can't be reiterated.
Yeah, I'm bummed that we didn't go, but you know, it was good for us to. I needed a weekend to just not do anything.
Yeah,
which we ended up doing stuff anyways. But so how many vehicles did you say there were?
So at the campsite when I got there was 4. So Tim, Monica, and their Jeep. Dave and Crystal, Adam, Joey, myself, and the other couple. And then we met up with a couple of Joey's buddies, and then one of them ended up staying with his wife, and that guy was awesome, dude. It was he had a Jeep JK, super built up. And another buddy of Joey's has Dave. His name's Dave. Also has a hooked up F-150. It was really nice, dude. It looked. I thought it was a Raptor, but
oh really?
It's just a built up F-150.
It was nice. It didn't break down or anything.
It did not break down.
Nice. No, that's good. You know, you got to count your blessings.
Yeah.
And thankfully, you guys made it through. You didn't have any problems. That's good.
Nah, but it was super cool, man. I'm officially a trail chaser again because I hit the dirt.
Yes.
It was much needed, dude, and it was super fun, man. And thanks to Dave and everybody else that inviting me and hanging out.
Yeah, that's awesome. That I mean, I love that we've talked about this on the show and off about how, like, the group, what we consider the group, you know, it started off with just like the three of us and Casey, and then Joe K, and then Rob, and then, you know, Dave, and it just like little by little, Corey and
Tim and Monica.
And like little by little, people started just coming in and go, you know, they go on one trip with us, then they go on the next trip with us. Yeah, Rob, it's and now like the group is forming subgroups, and you know, just because like if we can't go, somebody else is going, and it's like this whole community of off road.
Oh, Scott was there.
Scott, yes,
I forgot, dude. Sorry, Scott was there.
It's just really great to have that type of community where it's like one person's going to decide to go, and everybody's like, okay, well, I can make it or I can't, and I'm super happy to see that you know, the community is growing and that people are doing stuff together. You know, we what?
No, I'll just go ahead and finish.
Oh, I was just gonna say we need to start doing more. You know, Mojave's the next big one. But you know, life's just been crazy lately.
It's just so funny, dude. Like, I went super like minimal on this trip. Like, as far as what I took, like I took an ice cooler, like an ice chest, but just like some water bottles and some White Claws and the bottle of Old Elk. But I stopped in Indio at a Stater Brothers, and I just bought like a big sandwich and a bag of chips. Dude, it was $10 for a big loaf of French bread sandwich.
Yeah,
and just chips and like some snacks. But then when I got to camp, dude, Tim and Monica put everyone to shame because they have
every time,
bro. They have tables.
Yeah,
they have their Snowmaster. They have their rooftop tent. They have the awning. They have like one stove. Like they have 2 stoves. Like they are set up. And then you got Dave and Crystal, and they have their whole setup too. Yep. They have like their ice chest and their like you know, water thing. I'm just like, dude, I have a sandwich and some chips.
What's funny is you're like a 19-year-old bachelor, and you're not though.
So I keep telling these guys, like, I promised. So the longest joke was that I would tell Cody, yeah, I have a kid and I'm married, but you didn't meet him for the longest time, right?
It was a while. It was. I don't know.
But I would never. They never come to any of the events.
When was the first time we met them?
It was at the pizza, the
That's
Christmas.
right,
For
Mountain
me, it was
Mike's.
the Christmas.
Yeah,
Mountain
that's
Mike's.
Yeah.
But I'm like, guys, I promise, I'm not a serial killer. I have a family at home.
They're not in a basement, I swear.
But even it's funny because I invited Adam over to watch some UFC fights a couple months ago, and they weren't home. Like, and Adam was there all day, dude, and it was just me and him. Like, just and he's like, and just looking around, like
he's looking at picture frames. Like that's the family that came in the picture frame.
Yeah. That's what he was saying. Like, dude, did you Photoshop your picture on these pre-bought pictures?
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, because it went like he was there for like up until like 9 o'clock, and my wife, they were just in the in-laws. But it was just funny, dude. But I promise I have a wife and kid. Oh, so why my nickname should be Runs Over Totes. So we had set up for base camp, and I unloaded all the stuff. That way I can set up my bed in the back of my truck. So I had my small tote that has my gear on it. And I set it like right under the tailgate. So I took everything out, and Joey and his buddies wanted to go for a night run. I was a couple whiskeys in at this point. So I'm like, yeah, and I was blocking him. So I had to move my car. So I started moving back, and I'm like, there's nothing behind me, but I'm hearing this crunching noise.
There goes your sandwich.
No, the cooler was in the truck still. It was, but I'm like, dude, there's nothing behind me. What am I hitting? And it just kept going, and then everybody
Keep going.
I just kept going. I completely forgot that the stuff was right behind my truck.
Nobody's screaming.
No, they were laughing
going.
at the
Yeah.
campfire.
Yeah,
they were
for
laughing.
sure. They were all
I'm
pointing
like,
and laughing.
Yeah, they were. And then Joey ended up running over. Was like, dude, you're running over something. And I was like, yeah, it was my tote and my tool bag.
Wow.
I completely forgot they were there, dude. Old Elk, it was good. See, it's good, dude. It turns.
It starts off crappy, but
It starts
you
off
forget.
crappy,
You
but
forget that it tastes like shit.
And then, yeah, it leads you
Then you're
down,
just chugging
leads you
it
down
right out of
paths
the
you wouldn't
bottle.
think you'd end up going.
Well, you were doing that and having fun. I went to the filming location of Lion Estates 1955.
I saw that.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
So it's been something like, for those of you that aren't Back to the Future nerds, there is a scene where when in the first Back to the Future...
I'm sorry, is this a segue alert
Yes,
to the
yes.
movie section?
No, this is just quick. This is just going to be a quick story. This is what I did Saturday. And then I was going to ask you what you did Saturday. The scene where Marty goes back in time. Goes back in time to 1955 before his neighborhood is built.
Yeah.
Where the Lion Estates are. It's literally down the street here from the house. It's right down here in Chino. And Tammy had been like wanting to go find it, so we went and found it. And there it is. You can look at the picture and go, that's exactly where he was standing. And then if you take that road another couple hundred yards,
There's a ton of new homes, or what?
well, there will be, but no, you take that road a couple hundred yards. There's a quote barricade that you can easily get around, and so I ended up taking the truck back up into the hills, like behind El Prado Park. It was super cool. Like, I want to take the mountain bikes up there. It was a super cool. Like, okay, we could come out here and hang out for a while. But that was all of the wheeling I got. That was like literally finding a route around the old Lion Estates. So I did not do much. What about you, Matt? What'd you do Saturday?
This weekend, man, I redid my garage. I bought one of those kick-ass tool chests, like the 6-foot big husky on casters tool chest.
I've been wanting to get one
because I feel like a
man?
badass now.
You feel like a man?
I feel like I feel like I should just post weekly photos of me kicking it next to my tool chest.
Which one did you go with, if you don't mind me asking? Husky?
Just a husky
from Home
the
Depot?
Husky one at
That's a Home Depot, right?
Yeah. It's got the smooth closed drawers, you know.
Yeah.
It's very heavy, it's well built. And that freed up all my, I don't have all my tools have been in bags, from being in a work truck or whatever. and those bags were just sitting in the cabinet. So it's like
Yeah.
anytime that I wanted to work on anything, it was like rummaging through bags for
Yep.
specific fittings or bits
Yeah.
or whatever. So paint wrenches. So now, not only did we clear that entire cabinet of tools, and now it's on a rolling, workbench. The whole top of it
But
flips
now it has
up.
like a permanent spot. Everything has a
Yeah,
permanent spot.
and now I can find everything that I need. I also ended up putting up like a storage, like a suspended storage shelf, 6x6. I just bought a bunch of hardware, emptied out another cabinet. So, and we ended up demoing a cabinet. I went to the dump twice. I mean, I worked on the garage all
Damn,
weekend.
that sounds like
Yeah.
sounds like you were productive.
I was very productive this weekend. Yeah. But, dude, my garage hasn't looked, and I don't know if you guys noticed, no elliptical
Oh,
machine.
that's
up
right.
here.
I was gonna make it. I did see it. I was
Yeah.
gonna wait.
It's in the garage now?
Yeah, pulled that thing out and had my nephew come help me carry it down. That thing was effing heavy. So yeah, I'm all sore today. Like, I'm so out of shape. Like, at least I had some like field strength, where your client. It's not like
Yeah.
I was hustling every day, but when I was in the field, you're at least used to lifting things and carrying ladders, walking up to the truck. You're moving around. Now I just sit. It's bad.
I've made that transition myself, dude. I went from picking
Yeah.
up heavy, just raw pieces of aluminum and shit to literally just typing all day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I was paying for it today. Just, man, why does my neck hurt? So, but yeah, it's done, and now my garage is pretty bitchin'.
That's exactly what I want to
And,
do to my garage next. Is buy one of those. Like it's like a tool. It's like a workbench toolbox, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, do that and then buy like the overhead drawers or make some overhead drawers or something.
I just bought a bunch of shelving too. So like I took again, we demoed. You've seen at my house, Cody. Like I had full on like 8-foot tall cabinets, like
Yeah.
3 foot wide. My garage is surrounded in those. But you can't really efficiently store. There's only so many shelves, and then you're just piling shit on top of shit on top of a shelf that's like press board. You can't really. Half of them have broke. So putting up that shelf in my garage, like suspended from the ceiling, with 14 gauge L metal, that like track metal. I put a bunch of. It cleared up a lot of space.
Cool.
But now, yeah, I'm probably gonna put another one up there.
Well, that sounds productive. I wish I had done something as productive or as fun as Jose. Mine was not as fun or productive.
I would rather have been drinking with Jose, but it's all right. Next time. It's only been a year since me and Jose have hung out at a campfire.
I know. All right. So before we talk about Mojave transition again, we'll talk about a couple, some feedback. We got a comment on last week's episode from Austin Hautala. And he said, "That's hilarious, Cody. I'm actually born and raised in Arizona, probably not far from Tim. Poor me, LOL. And I've been told my last name is Finnish. At Austin, I'm finished with your last name. I don't believe for a second.
I told you he's gonna be like, dude. I grew up in Iowa.
I don't know what your last name is, bro. I thought Sisson was hard, and you win. You win. I just thought that was funny. We had we got a voicemail from Rob Flores, and I am afraid to play this. So let's see what happens. Prepare for an edit.
What the fuck? Nissan Nation finally starts talking about Jeeps, and I missed the live broadcast? Oh well, see you guys next Monday.
So there is definitely an edit required there. Let's see. And then Rob sent a couple emails that won't open for some reason. One of them about the do you guys ever see the old Ford Bronco Baja 1000 big Ollie, the like Take a minute and go look for the Big Ollie, Oly. It's the it was a Olympia beer sponsored the Bronco for the Baja 1000. It's just badass. That's for sure. We got let's see. We got a message from Makya 9. I don't know, Makya 9. Hey guys. First, I wanted to apologize for the 20% drop in YouTube viewership. My community service is up, so I'm not required to watch anymore. I hope Tim, Dave, Joe, and John are helping you guys stay relevant. We did a road trip to southern Arizona and went through Fontana, but didn't get a chance to stop and see the sights because it's Fontana. Seriously, though.
You're not missing out.
I didn't realize how close a lot of trails are to you guys, and I'm looking forward to meeting up with you guys to see them in person. I also had an idea. Since you guys talk so much about the new trucks and gear coming out, how about the topic of what reliable older rigs you'd use and gear you'd start out with? For guys like me that would be penny pinching if we tried to afford LA housing costs. Looking forward to hearing about the latest new release at the movie theater, Perry G. Okay, so it's Perry G. I didn't realize it was Perry.
Well, the problem is like there isn't cheap, reliable trucks, older cheap trucks anymore.
No, but I think there's still cheap options.
Like what though? Like XJs aren't cheap anymore.
No, but I think the Grand Cherokee WK2, the 2010 version, is a cheap wheeler that you could have a lot of fun in. Right?
I don't know much about those.
They're like my WJ. They're not solid axle, but I'm sure you can get them for cheap and have some fun in them. The cheaper ones,
ZJ.
No, but at this point, the ZJs, the XJs, and the WJs are 20 years old at the least. The ZJs are 25, 30 years old. I mean, you're not going to find them unless you're planning on putting money into them. You can buy them for cheap, but they're not going to be reliable or, I don't think that's the case.
Yeah, because like older Toyotas, dude, they're not cheap anymore.
No.
Even any 90s 4x4 Toyota.
The 4Runners, the 90,
No.
You can still get them fairly cheap. No,
Well, what's cheap?
under 10.
Eesh, they're gonna have like 200,000 plus miles on them, dude. I
Probably.
mean,
That's cheap. Under 10.
yeah, bro.
No, I mean compared to a $50,000 Gladiator is what I'm
Yes.
talking about. I'm not saying it's. I mean, 10 grand is 10 grand, but if you're looking to,
but like if you're trying to finding an older Toyota is hard on its own now, and then if you do find one, it's either been chopped up already, or if it's in good condition, they're gonna want premium pricing.
yeah,
There were surprisingly a lot of Land Cruisers out in the desert this weekend. I ran into like 4 FJ80s out there.
really.
Yeah,
What could you sell yours for right now?
I think, no shit, I think I could easily sell mine for 15.
Really?
Easy.
Yeah, I would. And you know what? For 50, if someone bought yours for 15, they'd have a rock solid.
Dude,
yeah.
It runs so good.
I mean, most of the parts are new.
Most of them. It's a fully
this-
rebuilt truck.
At this point, most of them are new. So yeah, I don't know. We should do some research. It's not gonna happen, but we should do some research and and make a list of what we like options for what older vehicles or what older vehicles cost at this point and what we would hang our hat on.
Yeah, I mean, what do you want to set the price max at?
It's gotta be
5,000?
under 10.
10,000?
Yeah, because I know when you guys are going to say, "Oh, why is that cheap?" Under 10 is if you are if you're going to try to get out and start wheeling, your options are all the way up to $60,000 for the Mojave.
Oh, you know what's the one no one talks about that's a really capable 4-wheel drive is the Trooper. The Isuzu
Isuzu Trooper. But can you find any parts for them?
That I don't know. There's a Isuzu Trooper right now, $2,700.
Yeah, I would still say the Frontier.
Frontier for sure.
Frontier would be the go-to for me.
What's the Jeeps with the square headlights?
The YJ.
I think those are still those are not crazy expensive, right?
No, because because once the TJ came out, they started dying off because there's still leaf springs, and the earlier versions are carbureted versus like I think 92, 93 they started becoming fuel injected. They've got a 2.4 something 4-cylinder, which I wouldn't get, but they do have the 4.0 6-cylinder in, which is
super reliable.
It's super reliable. Even if you bought it and then dumped $5,000 in to rebuild the engine, it'd be a fun as hell vehicle. The only thing is most of them are soft tops, and the soft top you have to buy a new soft top for them.
So when I'm on Craigslist right now looking, I just put 4x4 in the search, and I set the price max to 10,000. I mean, there's some pretty good trucks. I mean, there's whatever you want. There's full size trucks. There's Samurais. There's Xteras. There's a couple Land Cruisers. There's a couple Tacomas. Older couple Ford Broncos. I mean, it's like kind of you kind of have a decent selection. Just depends on what you want.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you can find something. Yeah, I'm looking at it too. Even like the full size trucks, like this. There's a short bed Dodge Ram 4x4 for $7,200. That thing would probably be fun as hell in the desert. It's a 2005. I had the 2003 that looked just like this, and that was a lot of fun to drive. And yeah, it's a full size, but for $7,200, I bet you could bomb the crap out of that for a couple years and not
and parts are going to be readily available.
Yeah.
What about the old Dakotas? Like, are those notoriously crappy? Or?
No. And they had a V8 in them. Casey actually had a Dakota at one point. They're hard to find.
You can't find them.
Yeah, they're hard to find, and you're not going to be able to lift or do anything with it. You're just it's gonna be stock. And
everything's gonna be custom, and there's zero aftermarket for that.
Yeah, which is unfortunate because I thought they were a pretty decent vehicle.
But yeah, I mean, you get like a lot of older Chevy or Ford trucks that you can 4x4 trucks, which hey man, guys build them.
A 1992 Chevy Tahoe S10 Blazer for $2,200.
There's a 1993 Toyota Land Cruiser for $9,500, 227,000 miles.
Damn,
runs good. Like new.
I think there's a whole Perry. There's a whole segment. I would probably go like the 91. This is a 1991 OJ Ford Bronco, like full on white, full size. Cool. I would love that. I had a buddy that had one of those, and I was like, dude, that thing's too big. It's too big. And we had some fun in that thing. We did. If you bought that full size Bronco and you didn't care what it looked like at the end of the trail, that would be fun as hell. So yeah, I think there's a whole segment there that we could put together. Thank you for that suggestion, Perry. So there was a question in the chat about Mojave for registration. That is coming up soon. Surf the Dirt. Tell me an off-road rig that has solid axle and seats 7, and the answer is FJ80 Toyota Land Cruiser.
It seats 8. Excuse me.
Oh yeah. Chevy Suburban.
Ford Excursion. 4x4. Diesel.
Jeep Commander. Was that solid front axle? I think it was IFS.
It was IFS.
Yeah. So to answer your question, Rob, about registration, it's not up yet. We are making some final arrangements. I have designed the shirt.
I saw a logo.
The shirt and the sticker has been designed. I'll do a quick flash for anybody watching YouTube. Boop. There's it is. Shirt and sticker have been designed. This week, I will be sending out emails to vendors and partners to see who wants to participate, and that will help me understand what the needs are going to be from a financial perspective. And then we will do the same thing. We'll do registration, shirts, hats, shirts, stickers, swag, the whole deal. Hopefully raffles. We had some good raffles at the Winter Expedition. We did pretty good.
We did.
You had some gift cards, right?
We had some gift cards. We had a full sleeping bag from Iron Man. We had some stuff from Nexen. Right. We had some stuff from Baja Forge. We had some good vendors and participation on that. So I'm thinking, and I think I want to do registration different this time. At the Winter Expedition, I was able to do it but I
What
had
were
to.
some takeaways from that?
So I had this whole thing where I had to create a new bank account to be able to link it to the Wix, to be able to the website host, to be able to accept payments, and I couldn't figure out a way to do it where it was like you could just go in and select how many people were going to go. So I had to make separate forms for if you're just a driver, you had to click here. If you were driver plus one, you had to click here. And so what would happen is someone wanted to add a passenger, so they'd have to go on and register for one person.
Yeah.
So I would like to just have one form and go
Have a drop
select
down.
how many, quantity of this many people. So I got to look at that and see what's going to happen. But it'll be a similar situation where once registration's up, people can register, pay, and then I'm thinking, so we're at the end of March, all of April. So we've got all of May.
We've got a couple months still.
Yeah.
April, May.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So I would like to. It's not going to happen by next week. I was thinking April 1st, but that's not going to happen. So I will probably beginning of April, mid-April, we'll have all that up and ready for registration. And then, what do you guys think? 25 vehicles again?
Yeah, I mean, what was it like handling the 25?
Well, we didn't. We had like 4 last-minute dropouts.
Okay.
So I think we ended up with like 18 vehicles.
Say 20. Say you had 20.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad, and I think the nature of Mojave
Caters to that, right?
So wide open,
Yeah, it caters to it.
and it's so wide open, and it's like there's this direction we're going, right?
You can't get lost.
Yeah, so we could put, like what we had talked about on the Kessel run, where Casey was leading the Kessel run, where, all right, fast vehicles in front, then we have one of us in the middle,
Yeah.
and then one of us at the end for the slow vehicles, and then eventually we all get there.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I don't think that's necessary for Mojave. I don't think it's not until you get to the Castle Run section where, the people are going to go nuts or haul ass. I think it's just a pretty moderate pace as far as the rest of the trail.
yeah, for sure.
What are you laughing at?
Perry is saying that he created that whole separate account and sent the email just so that we would read it live on so
yeah, I mean, so we did the first time we opened up the trip to the listeners. We had 12 rigs or something like that
on the Mojave.
The Mojave.
Yeah, I want to say 12 or 13 a couple years ago.
Yeah, and
No
it
problems.
was no issues. So
Yeah, I feel like we'll have a good group. So look mid-April for registration, and if you're a vendor or a partner that we've worked with in the past, Shower Pouch gave us a bunch of stuff last time
that's
too.
right, yep.
I mean, I should go back. Hey, if any of you guys are listening, we're gonna start sending some emails out and see who we can pull together for this trip. And I started playing with the route. I started mapping out some of those other things you were talking about, Jose, and like I said, I think what it comes down to is if we can get the trailhead early on Saturday, that gives us the opportunity to see more stuff.
So are we doing Friday night?
So Friday night is either camp at the trailhead or stay in a hotel in Laughlin. I have concerns with this group about staying at a hotel in Laughlin.
Like I said, you can't wake up late if you never go to sleep.
What if I stay at the RV? That's technically
I would say that there are 4 official trail chasers on the event: Cody, Matt, Jose, and Casey. Because Casey's like the unofficial 4th. Of the 4, I am concerned about 3 of those people actually making it to the trailhead early enough on Saturday, and that one person is not me. Like that's the concern. As I was looking at rooms, and I was like, I wonder if I could call them, book a block of rooms. Because the one good thing about that, because Matt and I, we've done it in the past. The one good thing about that is you're not unpacking any of your gear. Like, you show up Friday, you got a good bed, you sleep in, you take a shower, you're out the door Saturday morning, right?
You start fresh.
The bad
you get all your poop out of you.
Poop out.
The bad thing is that you've got people that don't have the physical and mental ability to control themselves in a place like Laughlin, and they don't roll out of bed until 10:30.
How sad is that? How sad is that? Laughlin. I can't control myself in Laughlin.
Look, it is sad, but that's who you are, and we love you for that.
Yeah, hey. No, you know what? I'm not gonna fight it.
And after
It is
this
what it
past
is.
weekend, I'm definitely gonna bring another bottle of Old Elk because
Oh, please do. Let's just hope I don't run out of gas in the middle of the desert.
yeah,
That'd
exactly.
be embarrassing.
I'm leaning towards the camping at the trailhead, but if I have the girls, I'd be leaning towards the hotel because it's one less night of them sleeping in the tent.
Are you gonna have a rooftop tent by then?
No, dude. No.
Getting blown
Yeah, you don't
out.
get blown out in
Blown
Laughlin.
out Laughlin.
See, Casey's not even in Laughlin, and he's excited about getting blown out in Laughlin. So
I'm just worried about. I just want to see if Casey's tent for this trip is going to be bigger than last.
I'm sure
it's going to be bigger than
it's
last.
He's going to have a separate, like he's going to have one of those construction ladder racks with steel girders. He's going to have I-beams on the cross so he could.
You can see it from space.
He's going to set up his own compound.
I just don't understand. Each trip, the tent keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Did you go in the tent the last time?
No.
So seriously, you walk in and it was like a living room. They had chairs set up, a coffee table, the cots pushed together like a queen
Yeah,
bed.
but we were there for hours, not days.
No, it was. I swear to you, I swear it was like someone. It was like a scene from Hidalgo. Remember that movie where they're out there like the Arabian desert,
Yes,
you're walking into the emperor's campfire. Casey said he'll just bring the casino. So don't know. For maybe what we'll do is we'll give the option of either camping at the trailhead or spending the night in the hotel. But you know, if you stay in the hotel, the goal is going to be I want to hit the trail by 9 o'clock Saturday
That
morning.
means leaving the hotel, gassed up and everything, like 7:30.
8. Because it's 20 minutes from the hotel to the trailhead.
Getting everyone like together.
Well, and we made the mistake last time when we did that.
Be at the trailhead ready to go at 9.
Yeah.
Yes.
The
'Cause
last
we tried meeting up at the gas station.
Yes, well, we met at the gas station, then we all had to go to the grocery store, and then next thing you know, it's 11:30
Yeah, that's what
before.
I'm saying.
Yeah, it would be.
You need to be ready to go. You know,
Saturday morning, 9 o'clock. These coordinates.
Be here at 9, ready to go.
Train leaves at 9.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So we will have the detail. I've already started the itinerary. I'm looking at the location.
We need to get a drone for that, so we can get those cool aerial photos and footage.
So we can put up with all the other videos we
Yeah.
take.
Exactly.
I think we just get a kite and strap one of the phones. get a kite.
Just to the back.
Get a kite.
Jose's
tie
truck.
it to the back of Jose's truck, and then we'll mount one of the phones on there or
I
a
don't
GoPro.
think my truck goes fast enough to pull the kite, dude.
Well, you're gonna have the Mojave by the Mojave, right?
Yeah, right, dude.
Come on,
That
dude.
ain't gonna happen, dude.
Oh.
That sucks. Your disappointment.
Yeah, I know. It's not the first time I heard that today.
Just think about, Jose, think about this. Cruising the strip at Laughlin or Bullhead in your brand new Mojave, dude. Come on.
Bro, I don't
You
want to
be
be
the talk of the town.
I don't want to be the talk of the town.
They're
They're gonna think
about the
royalty,
blowout, bro.
They're gonna see that Mojave and be like, "That guy can afford the full blowout."
Yeah, he's getting blown out for sure.
When did Bill Gates come to town? with his,
Exactly.
It's Bill Gatto. It's
oh man.
all right. Well, that's it for the night. We good, Matt. Good on you, dude. Good for you for
Awesome.
bringing topics today, dude. That was
I
great.
did it.
And Jose, good on you for actually participating in an off-road event.
Yeah, and thanks again to everybody for the invite and for the great times. It was awesome.
So we're gonna let you guys go, and we will talk to you guys next week. All right. Everybody in the chat room, thank you. You guys were awesome tonight. It was all kinds of stuff. Hi, Angie, Casey, Joe, Perry, Adam, Rob was in there for a while. Yeah, we had a great group in the chat room tonight. So
some lively banter.
Okay, well, we're gonna end the live stream, guys, and like I said, keep an eye out for registration. We'll announce it. What we'll probably do is like we did last time, is we'll announce it live on a Monday night and give the live listeners the opportunity to register first, and then anybody who listens to the show on Thursday will get in. So, all right, ending the stream. Have a great night.